Have you ever had a home canned pickle that tasted good?
The only time I have was before Grandma Jones got the canning book and realized it wasn't safe to can pickles the way she did.
Have you ever had a safely canned pickle that tasted good?
From the grocery store.
Why is that?
So we're gonna try to figure that out.
This is my big brother, by the way, and I 15 years ago got into canning really heavily, and I put away hundreds of jars of pickles, and you know what? They were just terrible. So pretty much everything I do now is refrigerator pickles.
Oh my gosh. Those are so good.
And I haven't tried canning pickles in 10 years to make them shelf stable. The difference, by the way, a refrigerator pickle is safe only for a period of time if you keep it in the refrigerator. You can't leave them out on the canning rack at room temperature. That wasn't until last year. Last year, my big brother canned some pickles and gave me a jar. And honestly, they're the best tasting canned pickles I've ever had.
The realization that grocery store pickles are done by a safe process. And if we were to pay attention, there's no reason we can't use those safety guidelines at home. If anybody's gonna try this at home, you need to pay attention. You need to remember, you could make changes in this and be deadly, but this is virtually using the process that commercial pickles are made by in the store.
So the difference is, so our home canning pickles are giving us an extremely high tolerance for making mistakes.
Yes.
And the loss in that is the flavor.
Yes.
So if we
flavor or crispness.
If we cut a recipe that's a little more, we have to be a little more careful with.
Then we can absolutely safely at home use the equivalent of the commercial process.
So will these pickles we're going to make today be cooked?
We are going to pasteurize. We're going to pasteurize. I found when I did pasteurized pickles that were approved for home process, it was an extremely high vinegar content.
Yeah.
The process I went through to get to these took canning multiple jars. Every jar I processed, we marked, we ran the pH before, we ran the pH after processing, and 2 weeks of equalization time. Then once we knew we were shelf stable, we even reran the pH as we would open the jars for the first year.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe. There's definite differences in volume. There's differences in everything. We kept a safe margin that any cucumber we used came out well within the safe margin.
Okay.
But you don't want to make huge changes to this.
Word of caution, do your research on this. But it's not harder than canning pickles.
No.
It just takes more specific steps that you have to pay attention to. And in doing it, you can actually have delicious pickles.
It's actually probably simpler.
Okay, good.
But you cannot skip the high-end thermometer. And don't go into the store and buy the cheapest thermometer you can. The thermometer we're going to be using is a food-grade thermometer. If you were going to use some cheaper thermometers,
you might want to overdo the temperature.
I wouldn't even recommend overdoing the temperature. I'd recommend buying 5 or 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
And check them against each other and consider that the average is probably pretty darn close.
Okay, so pasteurized pickles, that's what we're doing. Let's slice us some.
Let's have it.
It's pickle time!
Pickle time. I'll show you the secret ingredient here in a minute, but here's where you don't want to miss. 8 cups of water and our vinegar, 6. And that's a little short. If you're going to err one direction, err over, not under. Too much acidity will never hurt you. Not enough acidity will. Here's the difference, what you're gonna find if you look up any recipe that is for pasteurized pickles, it's going to be a 50-50 ratio of vinegar and water. the strong vinegar is too strong for me. I don't like it. Seems other people don't, because as we tried it, we realized people like this. We have tested this. We have pH tested it before and after stabilization. We know it works. 5% vinegar, 8 cups of water, 6 cups of vinegar. Oh, Mrs. Wade just makes good dill pickle mix.
Hey, simple, but it works.
That's it. I have been working on getting.
And when it comes to storing all the pickles you've grown, who cares if you buy them?
Now this, we are just heating it up till it dissolves, and this is our brine mix. You got to even out this temperature. We want that temperature to balance with what we put in our processing container. We're going to use the large All-American canner today because we can get 2 layers in it. The only canner, if you look it up online, that doesn't explicitly say you cannot use it on a turkey fryer burner. It's actually rated for going on a little hotter burner than most.
Dang, yeah, you weren't kidding. You said good thermometer here, were you?
Yeah, we need a good thermometer.
Right.
We need to make sure we're okay.
Now, that doesn't mean you have to have that thermometer.
No,
but
you want to be sure you're accurate with pasteurization.
Right, because that's probably a $300 thermometer, right?
Yeah, about $350 when I bought that one. If we boiled this brine and we dump it across the cucumbers, we're coming close to already boiling them. We got them hotter. They're going to lose structure. They're going to lose crunchy bite. So we don't want this over 180, which is our temperature that we're going to process at.
So we're shooting for 180 degrees.
We don't need 180. We want under 180.
Okay, so don't go over 180.
Do not go. I would let it cool down if I went over 180.
By the way, Chris is a doctor, and that's his rectal thermometer. That's why he has to have it for work.
Yeah, doctor of proctology and other related tendencies.
Just doing a hot bath here, right?
Yep. We're gonna
enough to submerge.
Now we got to submerge and cover the top by an inch.
Yep.
And we don't know how fast your stove does a giant All-American canner, do we?
It'll do okay. It's not like using gas. So I don't see much headspace.
We're going for tight on the headspace.
Okay, so maybe a half-inch headspace.
Reason I'm going shorter headspace. I'm going towards an eighth of the headspace.
So we're shooting for as little headspace as possible.
And the reason I started making that choice was that's what Mount Olive does. I don't use a spatula. The more you squish the cucumbers, the softer the pickles will be. And Aaron will make you a video someday about reusing canning jar lids. I don't do it, but that's a Swiss chard or what?
Okay, that's a subject for another day. And I know a lot of people will say don't do it. And my recommendation is don't do it unless you pay attention, but I use them. I probably get 3.5 uses out of every canning jar lid.
What do you do with the half-use one?
I have a higher seal success rate on the second use than on the first. The third use, it drops off again, and it's about equal to the first. But I lose the least number of jars to seal failure on the second use of the lid. All right.
Let's load the canner.
Loading the canner.
Load the canner. And we're still hot. We're starting the water warming, so our temperature is really close.
And so the pasteurization process, just explain that to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up to a certain temperature and then drop
between the 180 and 185. We are not going to flash cool at the end on the pickles.
So we can just
but we are going to get them out of the water.
So they air cool.
To air cool as quickly as we can.
The quicker we cool them, so the cooling isn't the pasteurizing. It's not how quick you cool it.
No.
Okay.
Say milk.
It just keeps them crispier by cooling it quicker.
Yes. Aaron, I bet you have a pizza pan.
I do.
That's what I use for my lid when we're pasteurizing in the All-American canner, because if I slip the lid on, I can't get the thermometer in and out easily.
Yeah.
My stove raises the temperature of a full load of 1 degree per minute. So we're at 141 degrees. I'm going to time off our rise. We're going to check it in about 5 minutes. We want to remember.
You're just getting an idea of how quick it's going to go.
How quick it's rising, because we don't want to overshoot. We're going to come in 180 to 185, and we have to hold it between 180 and 185 for 30 minutes.
And you want to heat it as quick as you possibly can, right?
I have found not too quick.
Okay.
You can most definitely blow up jars.
Okay.
You want it to heat evenly too.
Right.
The quickest you can evenly heat it to it, and then the 30 minutes is giving it time to equalize. All right, we're temp checking. We're rising pretty good here. We're 164 and a half-ish. I aim for 183. Back the temperature off and try to stay there. We have to stay between 180 and 185. I use the stopwatch on my phone the minute we hit to time the 30 minutes. Now, see here now, we're gonna have to talk about this.
Target temperature is?
Between 180 and 185.
Okay, 180, 185.
And I am stirring the water a little with my thermometer
Just equalize.
to make sure we're reading really close everywhere. Yep, we're in the, and we're rising quickly, so we want to watch close, because the more we overshoot, softer the pickles will be. Voila, we just hit 180.
So now we're holding temperature.
We're holding 180 for 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes, and
We're gonna let it overshoot the 180 just a tiny bit.
yep, 180.9, 181.2.
Try to insulate the canner,
Help stabilize it.
and then I'm gonna check in about 3 minutes here, and I've turned the burner all the way off.
Okay.
Pickle time! It's pickle time! So 180, 30 minutes, 20 seconds. Out we come. We want to get them out quick.
And this is it. Basically, just let them cool now.
Yep, we're going to let them cool.
And what's the, what do you know, when do you have a period of time you want to let them sit?
I let them sit 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Because you're equalizing the acidity still.
Okay. Well.
The whole point of the pasteurization is to kill any mold, bacteria, things that can.
And the acidity at the level it is for the
Doesn't
botulinum.
allow botulinum spores.
Yeah.
Pickle. 1 year in the works here. Test pH. This has been in my refrigerator for a year. In case I wanted to taste it, I went ahead and refrigerated.
By the way, let me explain this. So what he's saying is that when you pack a jar with cucumbers sliced, it's going to take up X amount of volume in the jar. When you make a relish, it takes up more volume in the jar, meaning the acidity of your brine would have to be adjusted to make a relish versus making a sliced pickle to get the acidity.
This pH,
the correct result
that we used, is adjusted for sliced pickles. We tested sliced pickles. We've never tested the relish. So I decided I'm going to do relish. Last year, we finally got around to making the video. And what we're going to do is we're going to test the pH. No foul smells. Oh,
bouquet.
I would not tasty till we testy.
It's in between the yellow and the green. It's so that's in between 2.8 and 3.2.
Which
I think
we need to be safe after equalization. We needed 4.6. We are way more acidic even still than we need to be.
because the lower numbers, higher acidity.
I'll give it a taste then. The big thing is, I knew he'd still taste it after me. Not bad. I had added a little sugar to this because I like my relish sweeter.
It was nice.
I wanted it on a hot dog.
Yeah, that'd be a good hot dog relish.
The 4.6 is the absolute lowest acidity you can be safe. That's the government's don't cross that line, botulinum can grow. Every recipe for pasteurized pickles is a 50-50 recipe. It's such an overshoot because as you see, we're
50-50, it tells you to mix half vinegar.
Half vinegar and half water. And it's just, it tastes like a feminine hygiene product to me.
Too vinegary for you.
Kind of a too vinegary for me. If you're willing to test, you can do any recipe. Just don't eat it without testing it.
So
if
here's
your
what you
acidity and your temperature.
These are
pH
test strips. What do these cost? 15, 20 bucks?
Oh no, I think that was $3 or $4.
Brewery supply stores?
Brewery supply store will almost always have them. Electronic detectors are available. I have one over there. We just opted to do it this way because it's clearer to see on the camera. It's actually a pretty good relish, isn't it? But that's the first relish we tried because I had never tested the pH before and after with that volume of cucumber in the jar.
And if you don't understand this, probably don't try it. Do your research, though. This is actually, I do think it's easier than regular canning when you understand the process.
When you understand it.
You understand the key steps to hit.
This took us going on and researching how commercial canneries do it. We slipped over to what commercial requires. So you have to be diligent with that thermometer when you're pasteurizing.
Yep.
You have to be careful about things. You have to make sure you don't grab 3% vinegar from somewhere instead of 5%.
Yep.
Just be cautious.
Seriously, this is the best home canning pickle recipe I've ever tasted. They're crunchy, crispy, and delicious. And thank you, Chris, for coming and doing this.
Hey,
guys,
thanks, Aaron.
if you enjoyed this show, please give us a subscription to this channel. We're so poor. Look at us, we can't even afford t-shirts. Please, God, subscribe to the channel. Please, Gustav says subscribe.
Gustav says subscribe. Look, Gustav says subscribe.
It's just a like button.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they want to hit the like button? Now, if any of you are interested in buying some equipment for this, I know we reference using a really high-grade thermometer. I went ahead and did a little bit of research, and I'm going to put a model number for a Milwaukee Pro food grade thermometer and pH meter. It's about $330. I'm going to put the model number in the description. I'm not going to put a link to it because the exact model is actually not available on Amazon, and you have to be cautious if you order this one because there are a lot of different uses for this model, and you want the one that is a food pro, and it is one proper for use with pasteurizing and canning like we're doing in this video. Just one note to reiterate on safety. The final pH of what's in the jar has to be a minimum of 4.6 on a pH scale acidity. And that's a government set mark to protect against botulinum toxin. Now, if you're testing with pH test strips versus a high-end tester, you probably want to have a bigger variable in there. You probably want to move that mark to maybe more like a 4.0. And that's just going to help give a mark for safety if there's a little bit more variable in your testing. The other thing to note is that you have to test the jar when it's equalized. As you see, Chris waited a year to test his relish. 2 weeks is probably the mark I've read that most common what people use to let it equalize. Another way you could do that and force it to equalize is to put it, take a jar and sacrifice it, stick it in the blender, puree it, and test that. That's going to give you an equalized pH. Have fun. I hope you guys enjoy this pickle recipe because I'm going to tell you what, they really are phenomenal. So I hope you enjoyed it and you guys have a great afternoon.
Pickle reflex check.